Hello guys, this is LukeJ speaking. Welcome to this special event, LukeJ TV, LukeJ62895 trivia video special. And today, we are going to be doing 3 tributes today. But before we begin our tributes to Regis Philbin and Peter Green, I have to announce that we have some sad news to report. Dame Olivia Mary D. Alvan passed away this past weekend at the age of 104. It was something we wanted to read about, but we are going to talk about it now. And then we'll talk about Regis Philbin and Peter Green right afterwards. So stand by for that. We're still going to do this, so there you go. Anyway, Dame Olivia Mary D. Alvan was a French-British-American actress. Okay. The major works of Marcus, I need a drink. Just got done reaction videos. Anyway. The major works of her cinematic career spanned from 1935 to 1988. She appeared in 49 feature films and was one of the leading actresses in her time. She was also one of the last surviving stars from the golden age of Hollywood cinema until her death in 2020. Her younger sister was actress Joan Fournier, however you pronounce that, but let me check her death year. In 2013, December 15th. Wow, she was 96. Okay, cool enough, I guess. She first came to prominence as a screen couple with Ariel Flynn in adventure films such as Captain Blood in 1945 and Adventures of Robin Hood, if you watch this remix, in 1938. Excuse me. One of her best known roles is Melanie Hamilton in the film classic Gone with the Wind in 1949, for which she received her first of the 5 Oscar nominations. Her only one was Best Supporting Actress. Wow. She's departed from emigrant roles from the 1940s and later received acclaim for the performance in Hold Back of the Dawn in 1941 and Each His Own in 1946, The Snake Pit in 1948, and The Heroes in 1949, receiving nominations for Best Actress for each. Winning for Each His Own, in The Heroes, she was also successful in works on stage and television. She lived in Paris since the 1950s and received honors such as the National Medal of Arts, the Legion d'Honneur, and the appointment up to Dame Carmen of the Order of the British Empire. Okay. In addition to her film career, she continued her work in the theater. Wow. Appeared 3 times on Broadway. Romeo and Juliet in 1951, Canada in 1952, and The Gift of Time set in 1962. She also worked in television, appearing in such successful miniseries such as Roots, The Next Generation in 1979, and Anastasia, The Mystery of Anna in 1986, for which she received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination and won the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress in a Television Movie or Series. During her film career, she also collected 2 New York Film Critics Circle Awards, the National Board of Review Awards for Best Actress, and the Venice Film Festival Critical Cup. For her accommodations to the motion picture industry, she received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wow. She was born in she's with her mother Lillian Fornant was educated at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. Wow. In London and became a stage actress. She was as Alice in the 1943 play Alice in Wonderland. She was cute, but otherwise she was adorable in this one. But anyway. Lillian was also sang with the master of the King's music. She and Walt Pariat was toured in England with the composer Ralph Vaughan Williams. Oliver father, Walter D. We pronounce his last name, served as an English professor at the Umbridge University in Tokyo before becoming a patient at Charity. Okay. Her pastoral cousin was senior Geoffrey D. Havadan, died in 1965, okay. An aircraft designer and founder of the aircraft company. Wow. Lillian and Walter met in Japan in 1913 and married the following year. Wow. The marriage was not a happy one due to the part of Walter's influences. Oliver Mary D. Almanan was born July 1st, 1916. They moved to the Target's house in Tokyo, where Lillian gave everyone singing recitals. Olivia's younger sister, Joan, later known as actress Joan Fernandez, was born 15 months later, on October 22nd, 1917. Both sisters became citizens of the United Kingdom and the economy by birthright. Wow. In February 1919, Lillian pursued her husband, to take the family back to England. Wow. For a prominent bear to suit the alien daughters. Wow. They sailed aboard the SS Imperial Memorial to San Francisco. Wow. Where the family stopped to treat Olivia's tonsilitis. After Joan developed pneumonia, oh my God, help me. Lillian decided to remain to her daughters in California, where they eventually settled in a village in Sargasso, 50 miles, 8 kilograms south of San Francisco. Her father nominated the family to return to the Japanese housekeeper, who eventually became his second wife. Wow. I did not know that. Olivia was raised to appreciate the arts. Began in ballet. Wow. I did not know that. Lessons at the age of 4 and piano lessons a year later. She learned to read before she was 6. Wow. Her mother, who would commonly taught drama and music and equalization, had her reciting passages from Shakespeare to strain her traditions. During this period, her younger sister Joan first started calling her Livy. Wow, it's a lot of timing. A nickname that would last throughout her life. She entered grammar school, I cannot pronounce the S word, sorry, in 1922, did well in her studies. Yeah, she enjoyed reading, writing poetry, and drawing, and once represented her grammar school in the country spelling bee, coming in the second place. Wow. In 1923, Lillian had a new Tudor-style house built, where the family resided in the until the 1930s. In April 1925, a month before my papa was born, but anyway, after her divorce with the families, Lillian married George Million, Fardine, would pronounce it. Okay. A department store manager for O.A. Hile and Company in San Jose. Fardine was a good provider and respectable businessman, but his strict parenting style granted ominously later rebellion in both of his new stepdaughters. Wow. She continued her education at the Las Vegas High School near her home in this place. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. She is expelled in archery and field hockey. Wow. And participated in school plays and the school drama club. Wow. She eventually becoming the school club security, with the plans of becoming a school teacher of English and speech. Yeah, I never know anything about speech. I'm sorry, but anyway. And also attended Notre Dame Convent in Beaumont. Wow. In 1943, a teenage the Havanan made her debut in amateur teacher theater, and that was Wonderland. Well, she was a cutie right there. Yeah. A production of the Florida Community Players based on her in the novel by Lewis Carroll. Okay. She also appeared in several school plays, including The Master of Venice and Hansel and Gretel. Wow. Her passion for drama eventually led to congratulations with her stepfather, who could buy her from participating in further treasure activities. When he learned that she would have won the lead role of Elizabeth Bennet in the school fundraising production of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, he told her that she chose between staying at home or appearing in the productions of not being allowed home. Wow, this is not cool. Now I want to let her school and classmates down. Yeah, I agree. She left home, moving in with a family friend. Wow. After graduating from high school in 1934, she was offered a scholarship at Mills College in Oakland to pursue her chosen career as an English teacher. Wow. She was also offered the role of Puck in the Florida Community Theater production of Shakespeare, A Midsummer Night Dream. That summer, author and director Max Reinhardt, was came to California for the major new production of the same play to premiere at the Hollywood Bowl. After one of the Threadgeorge's assistants saw her performance Salgaria, he offered the second understudy position the role of Hermia. 1 week before the premiere, the understudy John Dario pronounce it, and lead actress Gloria Stewart both left the project, leaving 18-year-old that girl over here to play Hermia. Impressed with the performance, Reinhardt offered the part as a 4-week album tour that followed. During that tour, Robert received word that he would direct with Warner Brothers Films, the version of his stage production, and he offered her the role of Hermina. When her mind still set on becoming a teacher, she eventually wavered. Wow. But eventually, Robert and her executive producer Harry Blank pursued her to sign a 5-year contract with Warner Brothers on November 12th, 1944, with a starting salary of $200 a week. Wow. With marking the beginning of the professional acting career, which will span more than 50 years. Wow, Let's start the career bone at the moment. But anyway. Career begins when in 1945 into 1947 for early films. The Harmon made her screen debut in Robert Art's A Midsummer Night Dream, which she filmed at Warner Brothers Studios from December 19, 1944 to March 9th, 1945. During the production, she picked up film acting techniques from the film's co-director William Dorier, way to pronounce his word, and camera techniques from cinematographer Hal Marr, who was impressed with her questions about his work. Wow, I did not know that, but okay. By the end of filming, she just learned the effect of lighting and camera angles and how does she appear on screen and how to film find her best Lightning, okay? Following premieres in New York City, Beverly Hills. The film was released on October 30th, 1945. Despite the publicity campaign, the film generated both expectations of audiences, okay? While critical response was mixed. Her performances was praised by the San Francisco Examiner critic, okay? It was in his review of the Brooklyn Daily Eagle, William Burroughs wrote that she adds generously this greater justice into Shakespeare languages, way you pronounce it, to anyone else in the cast. Wow. Whatever. Two major comedy falls, like with Joe E. Brown and Ours and Us, and they're both in 1935, featuring with James Canty. In both films, she played the charming love interest, a role in which she was later become typecast. After the experience of being a right-heart player, she felt disappointed in being assigned these routine hurricane roles. In March, that she and her mother moved into the apartment at the Chateau des Sports at the 6626 Franklin Avenue in Hollywood. Although Warner Brothers Studios had moves that many of the Cosmo films that studios like MGM had earlier produced with the never succeed during the productive years of the Great Depression. Wow. Then they nevertheless took a chance by producing Captain Blood, also in the same year, 1935. That film is a swashbuckler, also action drama based on a novel by Ralph Sambani, and directed by Michael Curtis. Captain Blood starred Little known contract pit part actor and former extra Elle Flynn, alongside Little but known herself. According to the film historian Tony Thomas, both actors had good classical looks, speaking roles. Wow, and a sense of quality about them. It filmed between August 5th and October 29th, 1945. Cam Blood gave her the opportunity to appear in her first costume historic romance in a miniature epic and genre to which is she was still well suited. Wow, okay. Given her beauty and elegance in the film, she played Abelia Bishop, the niece of the Jamaica Platinum owner. Wow. Who purchased of action and Irish Platinum one week commanded the servants. Wow. The on-screen community between her and Flynn was evident to the first scenes together where clashes between her character's spirited Hunter and his character's playful Bragado did not mask their mutual attraction to each other. Okay. Amelia, especially young woman, okay, who knows what she wants to, is willing to fight for it, okay. The battery tone for their extent matters in the film. The healthy give and take and mutual respect became the basic for their on-screen relationship in subsequent films. Captain Blood was released on December 28th, 1945, and it received good reviews and wide public appeal. Wow. Her performances were singled out in New York Times and Variety. Wow. Okay. The film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The popular success of the film, as well as the critical response to the on-screen couple, lead the 7 initial collaborations. Wow. Okay. She appeared in Murder Voice, Hurricane Drama, Anthony Reverse in 1936 with Frederick March. On the popular novel by Harvey Allen, the film follows the adventure on the urban player raised by the Scottish merchant, whose pursuit of fortune, separate him. Well, okay, fortune separate him. Okay. Oh, excuse me, I missed, but anyway. For the excellent precise girl he loves, marries, and eventually loses. Wow. She played a pregnant girl, Angela, who was after being separated from her enslaved to her husband. Okay. Becomes opera star Madame Wolsey, no, wait, pronounce his name. Georges, okay? The Mistress of Nottingham. The film earned 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, and garnered her good explores the party to portray and character, and she develops over time. Howard Barnes of the New York Herald Tribune followed later scenes of her. Not her. It was her or him. I don't know. Madame Wealthy George is not very credible. But Frank S. Nugget, excuse me, I misspelled, but anyway. Nugent, yes, sorry. Anyway, New York Times called her Wiseman Angela. That same year, she was reunited with Flint and Michael Curry's period action film, The Charge of Braid Jades, also 1936, set during the Crimean War, became a box office success. Wow. During the film's production, she renounced her contract with Warner Brothers, signed a 7-year contract on April 14th, 1936, and started a weekly salary of $500, equivalent to $9,200 in 2019. Wow. Toward the end of the year, 20-year-old Dee Harbadan and her mother moved to 2,347 North Avenue in Las Vegas and section of Los Angeles. She had her first top billing in Archie Mayall's comedy Call It a Day in 1947, about a middle-class English family struggling with the romantic efforts of spring fever during the course of a single day. She also played a daughter, Catherine Hilton, who falls in love with a handsome artist hired to paint her portrait. Wow. Okay. There she was over here somewhere. But anyway. The film did not do well at the box office and did well to advance her career. Wow. She fared better in the Mayall's screwball comedy, It's Love, I'm After, also the same year, 1947, with Leslie Howard and Betty Davis. She played Marcia West, a young debuted and feared fan. And Monty with a very more like Monty Isle which describes her up the girl fiance by pretending to be an automated crad. Wow. The film received good reviews, with Barry calling it fresh cover, excellently directed and produced, and acted by an Isabel but clicks from the start to finish. Wow. Phrasing her. Wow. Also, he's during 1947. Was another period film with her. Began with The Green Carrot. Wow. Official romantic comedy about the 18th century English doctors encounter with the jealous players from the comedic Francis who embraces her on his way to Paris. Why is the prank? Gary plays along with the roles. married to get the last laugh. Wow. Even the lovely young aristocrat, she her Gourmet DuPont, whom she mistakenly believes to be one of the players, which are refined women are ditching. She also just deliver a performance that is lighthearted and fervently believable. According to Judith Guys, what you call it, but anyway, Freddie praised the film and called it a production superlative workmanship. Despite the positive reviews, the film did not go so well at the box office at all. The Michael Curtis directed romantic comedy Goes Where You Find It is a film about the late 19th century conflict in the Serengo Valley between the gold miners and the fair hydraulic equipment and farmers whose land had been flooded. Wow. She also played a daughter of the farmer, Serena Ferris, who falls in love with the main engineer responsible for the flooding. The film was released on February 1938 and was her first appearance in the Technicolor film. Okay, that was cool enough. I mean, I case want to review this soon, like this film seen here. I haven't seen this film before, but that's just me. This is 1948, but anyway. Movie stardom. In September 1947, she was selected by Warner Brothers, Sue Hare, Jack Warner to play May Warrant opposite Errol Flynn on Adventures of Robin Hood. In 1948, principal photography for this Technicolor production would take place between September 26, 1947 and January 14, 1948, including location work at the Benwell Park Bench Gardens and Lake Charlotte in California. Directed by William Cafley, and Michael Curtis. The film is about the legendary Saxon knight who's opposite the curves of Prince John and the Norman Lords while going King Richard. Wow. He's away from fighting for the first Crusade. King's Ward made mine, opposite Robin Hood, will later support him after learning that he's true editions of helping his oppressed people. No more buyers to event. Marion risks her life to save Robin by providing his man a plan to escape. Now, I'm planning to do this as a Jeff Gregory some other time, but that's just me. Defined by her, Marion was both a beautiful fairy tale heroine and a spirited individual woman whose actions are governed by her mind and as well as her heart. According to author Judith Picasso, Adventures of Robin Hood was released on May 14th, 1948, and was a memorable, critical, and commercial success. Earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture, it went on to become one of the most popular adventure films of the classic Hollywood era. The success of Adventures of Robin Hood raised her status. There was no feather to her concerning the film's assignments at Warner Brothers. Her next several roles was more routine and less challenging. In the romantic comedy For the Crowd, the same year, 1938, she played Rory Dingwell, a dingy rich girl, being romanced by a crazy public relations man looking to land a account with her eccentric grandfather. And Ray writes romantic comedy Hard to Get in the same year, 1948. She played another Disney rich girl, Margaret Richards, who decided to exact revenge of the gas station attendant leads on their own cab's range. In the summer of 1948, she portrayed the love interest between the U.S. Navy, two Navy two ex-Navy pilot brothers in wings in the Navy, at least in early 1939. Okay, while she was certainly compatible with playing these kinds of characters, her personality was better suited to stronger and more dramatic films, according to her. Judith Cass, excuse me. By this time, she was serious doubts of being her career at Warner Brothers. Wow. Some film scholars consider 1939 to be the high point of the golden age of classic cinema. Wow. Producing award-winning box office and hits in many genres, including the Western. Warner Brothers produced Michael Curtis' Technicolor adventure Dog City in 1939, and her first Western film became set during the American Civil War. The film is about the Texas trailblazer who has witnessed the lawlessness of Dodge City, Kansas. Okay, becomes sheriff to clean up the town. She played Abby Irving, who is eventually possibly towards Flynn's character. Wade's Hayden is transferred by events. The two fall in love. Now, proven formula for their own on-screen relationships. Curtis action sequences, solo cinematography, Max Steiner's effective film score. Wow. And perhaps the defines Solon Brawl in movie history. All contributed to the film's success. Vari described the film as a varsity western packed with action. For her, she played yet one more supporting love interest in the limited film. Dodge City responded the emotional low point in her career at that point. She later said, "I was such a depressed state that I hardly remember my lines." In a letter that the two college dated November 18, 1938, film producer David O. Selnick wrote, "I will give anything that we have Olivia de Havilland under contract to sell us to us so we can cast her as Melanie." Wow. The film was preparing to shoot what was Gone for the Wind, and Jack O. Warner was unwilling to lead her out of the project. Wow. She had read the novel, and like most of the actresses, she wanted the Scarlett O'Hara role, wanted to play Melody Hamilton, a character who's quiet, distantly, and inner strength, and she understood how it felt she could bring to life on screen. She turned to Warner's wife, Anne, for help. Warner may recall Olivia, who has brain like a computer. Now, I'm a computer technician since I was in the late 90s, and I've been doing it since then. I agree with Warner big time with this, but that's just me. Conceal behind those form-wise eyes. Simply went to my wife, they joined the forces to change my mind. Yeah. Wonder related, and she was signed into the project. Yeah, I agree. A few weeks before the start of the principal photography on January 26, 1939, and said an American scout during the Civil War and Reconstruction eras. Wow. The film was about the strong-willed daughter of a Georgia platinum owner in love with the husband and the sister-in-law, Melanie, whose kindness stands in the sharp contrast to those around her. According to film history on Tony Thomas, the Havilland's skill force and subtle performance eventually presents his character with selfless love and quiet strength in a way that keeps her visual and interesting throughout the film. Wow. Gone with the Wind has world premiere at Atlanta, Georgia. Watches from heaven, Papa. And on December 15th, 1939, and was well received. Frank S. Nugent of New York Times wrote that her Melody character, is a gorgeous, defined, treasure gem of charisma. And John C. Flynn Sr. in Variety called her a standout. The film won 10 Academy Awards. Wow. Including Best Picture, and she received her first nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Melody was someone different, okay? She had very deeply feminized qualities that I felt were very endangered at that time. They are from generation to generation, and that somehow so should be able to keep alive, and that's why I wanted to interrupt her role. Yeah, I agree, Olivia. The main thing is that she will always thinking of the other person. Yeah, an interesting thing is is that she is a happy person, loving, compassionate, says Olivia D. Havilland. Within days of completing her work and Gone with the Wind in June 1949, she returned to Warner Bros. And began filming Michael Curtis, a historic drama, Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex. Also, same year with Bay Davis and Earl Flynn. She has also hoped her works as Selleck's President's Picture will leave her the first-rate roles at Warner Brothers. But instead, she received third billing below the titles of Queen's Lady in Waiting. Wow. In early September, she was lent to out of Cinema Golden Productions for Sam Wood's romantic capture film Raffles, the same year, 1939, with David Niven, also a highly celebrated creator, and Joel Thief. She later complained, "I have nothing to do with the style of film." In early 1940, she refused to appear in several films assigned to her, attending the first of her suspensions of the studio. Wow. She then agreed to play the encouraged Burnham's musical comedy drama Love Came Back in 1940 with Jeffrey Allen and Eddie Albert, who had played a classical music student turned swing jazz band leader. She played violinist Emma Cornell, whose life became committed by the support of wealthy sponsor. In his review, the New York Times bossy quoted her, described the film as a fairly frolic and well-looking, mildly and deliciously pointed nonsense. Wow, wait. Really? Really, dude? But anyway. Finally, she plays the part of the pace and wit. That same year, she was reunited with Flynn in the sixth film together. Michael Curtis' Western adventure Free Trial, set against the backdrop of Marcus John Brown's fatal administrative attacks in the days leading up the American Civil War. The mostly fictional story follows the West Point Cadets J.E.B. Stewart, okay, played by Flynn, okay, and George Armstrong Custer, played by Ronald Reagan, the former president of the United States, okay. This is who he is today, okay. Died in 2004, but anyway, as they mark their way the West, both Vanning and the affection of her Kit Carson Holiday playing Kit in the Parvance tongue-in-cheek manner. She creates a character of real substance and dimensions, according to Tolly Thomas. Wow. For the world premiere on December 13, 1940, at the Legend Sphere in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Attended by cast members, reporters, the governor, and over 60,000 fans, Santa Fe Trial became one of the top grossing films in 1940. She was a comedy film when of the world propagated train ride to Santa Fe, but did not attend the premiere. Wow. Having been diagnosed with melanoma that morning and rushed to surgery. Wow. And yeah. War Fears, 1914, 1941, 1944. Following emergency surgery, she had begun a long period of convalescence in the Los Angeles hospital, during which time she rejected several scripts and offered her to run by Warner Brothers, leading to another suspension. Oh my God. She appeared in 3 commercially successful films released in 1941. Began with Rachel Walsh, romantic comedy The Strawberry Blonde with James Cagney, set by during the gay 90s. Wow. The story involves a man who marries an outspoken advocate for women's rights at the revival steals his glamorous strawberry blonde girlfriend, and later discovers he ended up with a loving, unstable wife. Oh God. The film was critical in commercial success, and Mitch licensed for romantic drama Home Back to Dawn with Charles Bowers for Paramount Pictures. She translated to a different type of role for her, okay? An ordinary, decent, small town figure whose life is... I'm not gonna say diaspora in this video, period. This is the first time I said it, but anyway. Awakened, by so great European Gabriel, okay? Whose own life is, possibly, affected by her love, okay? Listens carefully to direction and guidance appeal to her much more than a workman like approach for one of those directors. Mostly called for of the New York Times, well, the actress plays a school teacher as a woman who is romantic fanatics, who's honestly and pride are her own. And the film's chief support, admittedly, she's excellent. Wow. For this performance, she garnered her second Academy Award nomination, this time the Best Actress. Wow. She reunited with Flynn, for the 8th movie together, Royal Walsh epic. They died with their boots on. The film was loosely based on the courtship, marriage of George Armstrong Coaster and Elizabeth Libby Bacon. Flynn and her had fallen out in the previous year, mainly out of the role she was been given. She did not intend to work with him again. Wow. Even Flynn acknowledged she was sick to death of playing the girl and badly wanted a few good roles to show herself in the world that she was a fine actress. Wow. And she learned from that Flynn had to come to his office and saying he needed her from the film. Wow. She accepted. Screenwriter Larry Goffey was brought in and added several romantic scenes, improved audio dialogue. The result in the film that includes several of the finest work together. The last appearance on the screen is Custer's farewell to his wife. Ariel was quite sinister. She was rather remember. I think he knew. Oh, it was last time we worked together. Flynn's final line in the scene will help get a special meaning for her. Walking through life for you, ma'am, has been a very, very garish thing. The Dive of the Boots On was released on November 21st, 1941. While some reviewers criticized the film's historical historics, most applaud the action sequence. Wow. Cinematography and acting. Thomas M. Poyer, the New York Times, found her altogether captured. The film was spent on to $2,550,000, equivalent to $44,300,000 in 2019. Wow. I didn't know it. Warner Bros. Second biggest moneymaker of the year that year. She appeared Elliot Nugent's romantic comedy The Male Animal in 1942 with Henry Fonda. By a Miller's professor fighting for a million freedom while trying to hold onto his job with his wife Ellen. While her role was not very challenging, her delusion of an elegant, good natured woman, trying to resolve the unsettling reminiscence of her life played a major part of the film's success. According to Tony Thomas, wow. The film was a critical and commercial success, with Bruce quoted of New York Times not knowing that she's constant delightfully planless and softly scared of his wife as a wife. Wow. At the time, she appeared in John Huston's drama Is This Our Life, and that's also in the same year, 1942, with Ray Davis, based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel of the same name. Like Ellen Jossol, something like that. Gossol, when we pronounce it. The story is about two sisters whose lives are destroyed by the anger and jealousy of the one sister. Wow. Closest gave the film a negative review. Oh God, help me. But praised her warmth and easy performance. During production, she and Huston began a romantic relationship that lasted 3 years. Wow. Okay, continue on. According to the G. Hosland, one of the few truly satisfying roles that she played for Warner Brothers was the title character in Norman Cosma's romantic comedy Princess of the Rock in 1943 with Robert Cummins. Filmed in July and August 1942. The story is about a European princess in Washington, D.C. visiting her departed uncle. Excuse me. But anyway, who was trying to find her an American husband. Wow. Intent of marrying a man of her own choosing, she boards a plane heading in the west and ends up falling in love with an American pilot. Wow. She was aware of her true identity. The film was released on October 23rd, 1943. Did well at the box office. Boyd Trosper called it a film which is the best tradition of American screen comedy. Found her performance charming. Okay, that was cool. I wanted to do complex roles like her, My Melody, for example, and Jack Warren saw me in Intelligence. I was really restless to portray more developed human beings. Jack was never understood this, and he would give me roles that really have no character or quality to them. I know even being effective. It would be how that said. After following her 7-year Warner Bros. Contract in 1943, Dee Holiday was informed that 6 months had been added to her contract at the time since she was suspended. Wow. At the time, studios had adopted the provisions of that California law allowed them to suspend contract players for rejecting the role, and the period of suspension could be added into the contract period. Wow. This is hard. Most contract players accept this, but a few try to challenge the expression, including Betty Davis, who mounted an accessible lawsuit against Warner Bros. In the 1930s. August of 23rd, 1943, and under the advice of her lawyer, Martin Gay, she filed suit against Warner Bros. In California Superior Court. Wow. Seeking Darby judgment, that she was no longer bound by contract on the grounds. Wow. That was existing section of the California Labor Code. Forbade an employer from enforcing the contract against an employee for longer than 7 years from the date of first performance. In November 1943, the Superior Court found in her favor. Okay? Not for, excuse me. And extended the greater freedom to performers. Okay, that's a lot of huge money. California resulted in 7-year rule, and as outstated by the Court of Appeal and surrounding labor code by section 2855 in the Abedan case, it's still known today that the Abedan law, her legal victory will cost her $14,000. Victory to $190,000 in 2019 legal fees. Wow. Won her the respect and administering her prayers. Among them, her own sister Joan Fernandez, who later commented, Hollywood's own Olivia a great deal. Warner Bros. Reacted to her lawsuit by consulting a letter to all the studios to happen the effect and the very old blacklisting. Wow. Okay, this is not going anywhere. But anyway, as a concerning consequence, okay, she did not work in the film studio for nearly 2 years. Okay. She became a national citizen of the United States on November 28, 1941. 10 days before the United States entered the World War II. Wow. Military. Okay. Alongside aerial forces. Okay. During the war years, and then her fun in the background, but anyway. She apparently sought out ways to express her partisan and criticize the war effort. In May 1942, she joined the Hollywood Victory Covenant, a 3-week train tour of the country that raised money through the sales of war bonds. Later that year, she began attending events in the Hollywood Canyon, meeting and dancing with the troops. In December 1943, she had joined the USO tour that traveled through the United States and the South Pacific, visiting wounded soldiers and military hospitals. And she earned the respect and emulations of the troops, and for visiting in the isolated islands and battlefronts in the Pacific. She survived flies and damage in aircrafts and with viral pneumonia, requiring several days stay in one of the island's biotic hospitals. She really remembered, I love doing the tours because it's a way I could serve my country and serve the war effort. Now, this goes my attention, okay? I haven't read most of it, but that's just me, of course. Well, I haven't done that, and when it comes with V7, I read it for too long. I've known this for the fact. It was good decision to make. You know, that's just me. Let's just go ahead and continue reading. Combination and regardation, 1945, 1952. Now, this is going to be a huge wiki, so sit back, relax, and we're going to get ready to read this. So there you go. After the California Court of Appeal ruled freed for the Warner Brothers contract, she signed a 2-picture deal with Paramount Pictures. Wow. In June 1945, she began filming Mitchell's licensed drama To Each His Own, 1946, about an unwed mother who gives up her child for adoption, and then spends the rest of her life trying to undo this decision. She intended on bringing in license as director. Wow. Trusting his eye for detail, his ability for actors, and the the way he controlled scientists and their previous combination hold back the down. Okay, that was cool enough. The role required her to age nearly 4 years over the course of the film. And from a prominent small town girl to a sword, wow. A reckless businesswoman devoted to her company, while she never formally studied acting. Wow. She did read scholarly autobiography of my life in art, and applied one of the methods for this role. To help her define her character during the 4 periods of the story, she used a different preference to each period. She also wore the pitch for her voice, and charismatically, way to pronounce it, in each period, until it becomes a major woman's voice. Her performance earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1946 for her first Oscar. Wow. Okay. According to the film historian Tony Thomas, the award represented a veteran of her long struggle for Warner Brothers. Wow. And congratulations of her abilities as an actress. Wow. Her next 2 roles was challenging in Robert Swabmack's way pronounced Marshall Filler, The Dark Mirror, also the same year, 1946. She played twin sisters Ruth and Terry Collins. One living and normal, the other played Spike. And in addition to the traditional problems of showing her as 2 characters interacting with each other on screen at the same time, she needed to portray 2 separate and fragmentally opposite people. While the film was not well received by critics, Valley said the film gets lost in the maze of philosophical gadgets and possessions. Wow, this is not cool at all. Sorry about that. I was scared of this thing. I was afraid of that. But anyway, her performance was praised by Tony Thomas, who called her the final scene in the film an almost frightening piece of acting. Wow. In his review, The Nation, James McGee wrote that her playing a thoughtful, quiet, detailed, and sustains. And since it was founded, and some more talented playing is not, it's an unsensible, helpful, seeming, and likable permanent. And it's an undivided pleasure to see. Wow. Later that year, while appearing in the summer stock production of What Every Woman Knows in Smartport, Connecticut, her second professional stage appearance, she began dating Marcus Goldrich, a Navy veteran, journalist, and author of the novel Delia in 1941. The couple married on August 26, 1946. Wow. This was easy. Okay. Let's see where this is going. But anyway, let's go up some more. And I'll just get to the New Life Paris after this commercial break. So stand by. But anyway, the album was praised for her performance, and as Virginia Cunningham in Anatole's Lebanese drama The Snake Pit, 1948. One of the first films to attempt a erotic potential of mental illness and the poor exposed in the harsh conditions, in state mental hospitals. According to the film critic Philip French, based on the novel by Mary Jane Ward and produced by Del F. Zenzork. Wow. The film is about the woman placed in the mental conditions by her husband to help her recover from a nervous breakdown. Wow. Virginia Cunningham. Yeah, sorry I was tired, but anyway. Was one of the most difficult of all in her films roles. Wow. Requiring significant preparation both mentally. Oh god, we don't want to hear this, but anyway. And physically. She required lost weight to help create her appearance on screen. Wow. She collaborated with Phil Wallace, hired as a um, subsequent consultant for the film, and visited Colorado State Medical Hospital for the research of her role and observes the patients. Wow. The extreme physical deform of the Harvey raspy and associated electric shock variety scenes were especially challenges with a precise 5 foot 3 inch 160 kilometers actress. Wow. In her performance, she converted her male anguish by profusely transporting her face with a forward brow, wall-staring eyes, and gravity mouth. And then a young woman who was very much like Virginia, about the same age as Franco description. Wow. Was being a schizophrenic and with guilt pressure problems, okay? What struck me most of all was the fact that she was rather collectible and appealing. It had occurred to me before there was a male patient would be appealing. That gave me that key of performance outlived that the evidence said. According to author Julius Picasso, she delivered a performance both portrayed as electric, okay, portraying by an extreme actor of the character, from a shy young woman to a dominant woman. From her performance in Escape Pit, she received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress, the New York Times Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actress, and the Venice Film Festival for Riley Cup. She appeared in William Meyer's period drama Harris in 1949. The performance portraying in critically acclaimed performances. Wow. After seeing the play at Broadway, she called Waller and argued him to fly to New York to see what she felt would be a perfect role for her. Wow. Okay. Waller agreed to love the play and would her help arrange for Paramount and was released the film rights. Adopted to the screen by Ruth and Angus Augustus Goes, based on the 1880 novel Washington Square by Henry James. The film is about a young native woman who falls in love with a young man, Montgomery Cliff, over the objections of emotional objection with the father, who suspects the young man of being a fortune seeker. Wow. As she would have done on Back the Dawn. She portrayed her character's transformation for the shy, trusting, and combination with the guarded major woman over the period of years. Wow. The coordination of Catherine Swapper is developed through carefully crafted movements and gestures and carefully expressions, but carefully and some massive and then we pronounce it young woman limited determined voice, nervous hands, downcast eyes, and careful movements, all combinations of what the character is too shy and vermin, okay? Yeah. Throughout the production, Waller pressed her hard to critics to replicate visual points of the character. When Catherine returned to her own home to be jilted, the director had the actress carry a suitcase filled with heavy books up the stairs. Wow. Jilting the way of Catherine's traumas playfully instead of having to using a plain speech in the original script. Wow. The series was released in October 1949 and was well received by critics. For her performance, she received the New York Film Critics Award, the Golden Globe Award, and the Academy Award for Best Actress, her second Oscar. Wow. Having given birth to her first child, Benjamin, on September 27, 1949, she took time off from making films and with her infant son. She turned down for the role of Brent DeBon's A Streetcar Named Desire. Later expanded that becoming a mother was a transformation experience. and that she cannot relate to the character. In 1950, her family moved to New York City, where she began rehearsals and manager of a new stage production of Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, which was her lifelong mission to play Juliet on the stage. The play opened at the Bauhaus Theater on March 11, 1951. The mixed reviews. Some critics believe that the 35-year-old actress was too old for the role. Wow. Okay. The play was closed after 45 performances. Undaunted, she accepted the title role in the stage production of George Shaw's Comedy Canada's, whatever that was, which opened at the National Theatre on Broadway in April 1952. While reviews of the play were mixed, her performances was well received. Following the scheduled 22 performances, she was on tour, went on tour of the comedy and delivered 323 additional performances, made 2 sold-out audiences. While she received major recognition during this period of her career, her marriage to Coleridge, 18 years of her senior, have gone straight due to his unstable terminus. In August 1952, she filed for divorce, which became the final for that year. Wow, this is sad. It's very sad. When we come back, we will do the rest of the story of Olivia de Havilland, and we'll do 2 more. Regis Philbin and Peter Greed. I'll do more of this, and then after we get to the story in time. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Stay tuned. Welcome back to this tribute video special for today, July 26, 2020. Now, before I edit to the commercial break, there was a rainstorm going on in my background, going boo. And I was talking to my mom after this commercial break is getting me before the commercial break is over, and she was telling me we're gonna go somewhere around here, somewhere around some areas at 4. Now, before we finish up these videos I'm going to work on, I'm going to say some announcements real fast, okay? I will be going to I'll be canceling Elton Search Club Vlogs episode 33 today due to the fact that I'm going to be able to list off the trivia videos to Olivia de Havilland, Regis Philbin, and Peter Greed. And second, there will be a Cowboys from Hell 30th anniversary special, so stand by. There will be a next video coming up next, so stand by for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and read the rest of Olivia de Havilland's name right now. So we got, shall we? So we got New Life in Paris, 1953 to 1952, and it's still raining outside still. Of course, the thing is, I'm not going to say the S thing, but yeah, I'm getting ready to be the second time, but it's not going to be the SEX thing. No, it's not going to be that, no. When you first come to France, it was the fact that, the French speak French, wow. Even the children, many Americans and Britishers who visit the country never quite adjusted to this. And the idea persists that the natives speak the language that you show it to be difficult. Olivia de Havilland and every Frenchman that's one. Wow. In April of 1953, the invention of the French government, she traveled to the Cannes Film Festival, who she met Percy Covenant, wow, and the executive editor of French journalist Paris Match. Following the long-distance courtship and the restaurant's 9-month reserve requirement, they're both married on April 12, 1955, in the village of Yobi de Mariat. I can't speak French, sorry. And so together in a three-story house near the bars, the whatever now it's in Spanish, but anyway, Clark in Paris, 16th Armament Cement. That same year, she returned to the screen in Terrence Young's period drama That Lady in 1955, about a Spanish princess and the Queen's love for Prince King Philip II of Spain, who respected her youth after losing an eye in the sword fight defending his honor. Wow. According to Tony Thomas, the film uses offering Spanish locations effectively, but the servers from a combinations of plot and excessive dialogue. Wow. And while she delivered a warm and intelligent performance by as the Marzana, the film was disappointing. Wow. Following the appearance as the romantic melodrama known as A Stranger in 1955 and The Master's Daughter in 1956, neither of both which were successful at the box office. Wow. She gave birth to her second child, Gladys Gladney, on July 18th, 1956. She returned to the screen in Michael Carter's Western drama, The Paul Weber, in 1958. A film about the former Confederate soldier Alan Ladd, whose wife was killed in a war, whose son lost in the ability to speak after the witnesses the tragedy. She played Lenny Moore, a Chuck yet feminine, funnier woman who cares up for the boy, comes to love with his father. Wow. The movie was filmed in location Utah, where she learned to hitch and driving them the horses and hounds to come for her role. Wow. The Proud Rebel was released on May 28th, 1958, and was well received by audience and critics. In his review to the New York Times, A.H. Weller called the film a truly sensitive effort and heartwarming drama. Wow. Praised her ability to convey the warmth, affection, and starriness needs in the role. Wow. One of Harmon's best received performances during the period was Guy Green's romantic drama Line the Plaza in 1962, with Brussels, Brazil, filmed in Florence and Rome. Wow. And based on the Elizabeth Spencer novel on the same name. The film is about a middle-class American tourist on an extended vacation in Italy with her beautiful 26-year-old daughter, played by Valiant Mamonix, who was mentally disabled as a result of a childhood accident. Wow. Faced with the process of her daughter falling in love with a young Italian. The mother struggles with confident emotions about the daughter's future. Wow. Her projects become a calm, projects a calm, marital story throughout most of the film. She always showing glimpse of a worried mother, anxious for her child's happiness. Wow, this is easy. The film was received on February 19th, 1962, and was well received, with a Hollywood Reporter reviewer calling it a common love story. It was told by Rare Discordian Force, and finally knowing that the film achieved the rare and displays balance of occurrence, beauty, romantic substance, and joy, novelty, and comedy commercial appeal. Excuse me. Valerie singled out her performances as one of the great constantly in subtle production. In early 1962, she traveled to New York and began rehearsals to Garson's Kenneth stage play to give it time. Adapted from the autobiography book Death of a Man by Tucker Warren Biker, The play explores the emotionally painful struggle of the housewife, forced to deal with the slow death of the husband, played by Harry Fonda. Wow. The play opened at the Ethel Barrymore Theater. Wow. On Broadway to positive notices. While with her receiving the best reviews by a stage actress. Theater critic Walter Kerr praised her final scene, writing as darkest caverns, an actress gains a stranger way we pronounce it, taking on a simple willingness to understand. The New York World Telegram and Sun reviewer concluded is a miss. The Almanac will give the play the unbroken continuity, we pronounce this word. This distinguished actress reveals Leo as a special Mario woman. She stayed with the production of 490 performances. The year 1962 also saw the publication of her first book. Every Frenchman has one. Wow. And Larry accounted for her often amusing attempts to understand the depths of French life, manners, and customs. The book sold out its first print pars to get publication plant date and went on to become a bestseller. Wow. Later films and television. In 1963, she appeared in a final motion picture of Len in 2 films in 1964. Wow. Both of which is probably Phil's and Walter Gorman's Lady in the Grange. She played a wealthy poet who becomes trapped in the mansion's elevators and face the threat of free fertilizing hooligans in their home. Critics responded negativity to the graphic violence, while including shown on screen. H. Weller of the New York Times called it sordid and disrespectful, exercising aimless brutally. That same year, she appeared in Robert Holdridge's Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte with her close friend Betty Davis. After Joan Crawford left the picture due to illness, Davis had Aldrich applied to Slytherin. The producers pursued what was it, the Hobbit to accept the role of Miriam Deering, a cool covering character hidden behind the charming facade, okay, of the polite and charming lady. A quiet, saying performance provide a balance to Davis. Film historian Terry Davis described her performance as a substance piece of acting. That was a middle construction to the fatness of the film. The film was mainly well received as it earned 7 Academy Award nominations. She was president of the jury in the 18th Kennedy Film Festival, the first woman to serve as jury president. As film roles becoming more difficult to find, a common problem shared by many Hollywood veterans for her era, she began working in television dramas. Despite her dislike of the network practice of breaking up storylines with commercials, her first venture into medium was a teleplay directed by Sam Pennback called New Wire in 1966 and on ABC Stage 67. Wow. A dark tragedy about the farmer's hat of murder that leads to suicide. The production of her performances as a farmer's wife, Ellie, it was well received. Wow. In 1972, she starred her first television film, The Screaming Woman, about a wealthy woman recovering a nervous breakdown. In 1979, she appeared in the ABC miniseries Roots Next Generation, in the role of Mrs. Warner, the wife of the former Farragut officer played by Harry Fonda, whatever you call it. The miniseries was seen by absolutely 110 million people, nearly one-third of American homes with television sets. Throughout the 70s, her film works was limited to smaller supporting roles and cameo appearances. Her last feature film was The Fifth Musketeer in 1979. During this period, she began doing speaking engagements in cities across the United States. We're talking that title, The City of the Stars and the City of the Light, a program, a personal mini-series, something like that, would pronounce this word, about her life and career. She also attended the tributes to Gone with the Wind. Wow. In the 1980s, her television work included the Agatha Christie television film Murder is Easy in 1982, the television drama The Royal Romance of Charles and Dinah in the same year, where she played the Queen Mother. And 1986 ABC miniseries North and South Book 2, a performance in the television film Anastasia, The Mystery of Anna in 1986 as Downer and Pressure Maria, earned a Global Award for Best Supporting Actress in a miniseries, and television film. In 1988, she appeared in HTV romantic comedy drama, The Woman He Loved, and it was her final screen performance. Retirement and Remembrance, 1989 to 2020. In retirement, she remained active in the film community. In 1998, she traveled to New York to help promote a special showing of Gone with the Wind. Wow. In 2003, she appeared as a presenter at the 75th Academy Awards, earned a 6.5-minute standing ovation for interest. In 2004, Turner Classic Movies produced a respected piece of Melanie Remembers, in which she was interviewed for the 65th anniversary of the original release of Gone with the Wind. Wow. That was easy. In June of 2006, she made appearances at tributes commemorating her 90th birthday at the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, in the Los Angeles County of Museum of Art. But yeah, 2006 was the year I found out making LGBM possible. Before it was LGBM at the time. In November 17, 2008, at the age of 92, DeValladon received the National Medal of Arts. The honor conferred honors on behalf of people in the United States. The medal was presented to her by President George W. Bush, who commended her for preserved and compliant skills by an actress in roles for Shakespeare, Hermina, and to Margaret Mitchell's Melody, who played Gone with the Wind at the time. Her experience, energy, and grace won creative freedom for herself and fellow film actors. Wow. Wow. That following year, Dee Harmon narrated the comedy documentary Never Better When I Paint in 2009. This is a great story. I've never seen that before. A film about the importance of the arts and the treatments of Alzheimer's disease. Wow. In 2010, she almost made her return to the big screen after a 20-year hiatus, with James Harmon planning an adoption of the Alzheimer's Papers, but the project was never made. In September 9th, 2010, she was appointed to the Governor's Night of the Legion d'Honneur, the highest decoration of France. Awarded by President Nicolas Sarkozy, who told the actress, "You honor France to having chosen us." Excuse me. In February the following year, she appeared at the Treasury Awards in France. She was agreed in the same nomination. She celebrated her 100th birthday on July 1st, the worst year ever, 2016, one of the devilest year of all time, 2016. In June 2017, 2 weeks before her first birthday, which I made her first birthday for her on YouTube, by the way, link description below, She was appointed that Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Wow. In 2017 birthday honors for service of drama by Queen Elizabeth II. I've seen that, and I want to talk about. I will talk about Queen Elizabeth II in some other time. She's the oldest woman to ever receive the honor. In the statement, she called it the most gratifying of birthday presents. She did not travel to the event ceremony in the Buckingham Palace and received her honor for the hands of the British ambassador for France in the Paris apartment in March of 2018. 4 months before her 22nd birthday, her daughter Leslie was by her side. Now, let's go to the personal life, because I am done with careers right now. And I read all about careers, and I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Although known one of Hollywood's most exciting on-roles couples, she and her friend was never involved in a romantic relationship. Although first meeting her Warner Bros. In August 1935, Flynn was drawn to a 19-year-old actress with warm brown eyes and auxiliary charm. In turn, she fell in love with him. Wow. But kept her feelings inside. Excuse my farted. He wrote, but by the time we made the Cars of the Light Bird guy, I was sure it was loving her. Wow. She finally persuaded he filed his love on March 12, 1947. At the coronation ball for King George VI at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, when they slow danced together to Sweet La Banana at the hotel's Coconuts Grove nightclub. I was deeply offended by him. She later remembered. It was impossible to me not to meet me. The evening ended as a sobering note, however, with her insisting that despite the separation with his wife, Lily Demana. He needed a divorce before the relationship could proceed. Later, Flynn reunited with his wife later that year, and Demana never acted with her feelings with Flynn. Yeah. On July 28th, July 1938, Demana began dating a business tycoon, author and filmmaker Howard Hughes, who just completed his recording setting flight around the 91 hours. In addition to her about town, she gave the actress her first flying lessons. She later said he was a rather shy man. Wow. And it was a community with men ever they played heroes on the screen and didn't do anything heroic in his life. He was a man who was a real hero. In December 1949, years with the boss came out, she began a romantic relationship with actor James Stewart, at request by Erin Mayer Sinek. Wow. The actor's agent asked Stewart to escort the D. Howard Hernandez to the New York premiere of Gone with the Wind. Wow. As the actor feared, on December 19th, 1949. Excuse me. On the next few days, Stewart took her to the theater several times and to the 21 Club. They continued to see each other back in Los Angeles, where Stewart provided essentially flying lessons and romance. According to her, Stewart proposed marriage to her in 1940, but she felt that he was not ready for the settle down. Yeah, I agree. The relationship ended in late 1941, when she began a relationship with film director John Hawson. Now, while making in This All Life, John was a very great love online. She was later admitted he was a man I wanted to marry. Yeah, I agree. Marriage and children, yeah. On August 26, 1946, she married Marcus Goodrich, a Navy veteran, journalist, and author of the novel Delia. Oh, excuse me, I farted. Never mind. In 1941. The marriage ended in divorce in 1953. They have one child together, Benjamin Goldwich. He was born September 17th, 1940. He died. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at the age of 19. Wow. Was unable to graduate, able to graduate from the University of Texas. He works as a security analyst at the Lockheed Missiles and Space Company in Salisbury, California, as an international banking representative for the Texas Commercial Race Bank in Houston. He died on October 1st, 1991, in Paris, at the age of 42, for heart disease brought by treatments by Hodgkin's disease, 3 weeks before the death of his father. On April 2nd, 1955, she married Paris Garnier, an executive editor of the magazine Paris Match. Her marriage to Garnier prominent her relationship or relocation to Paris. The couple was separated in 1962, but continued to live in the same house for another 6 years to raise and start together. Gary moved across the street and would get to remain close. Even though the foundation of divorce in 1970 died, she looked after him, but during the final bout in the lung cancer, throughout his death in 1998. They have one child, Grizzle Granny, who was born on July 18th, 1956. After studying law at the University of the Notary School in Law, she worked as a journalist in France and the United States. Wow. Since 1956, G. Hobbinott lived in the same three-story house near the Varsity Bargon Park in the Broadway section of Paris. Wow. I did not know that. Religions and politics. Now, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be true. I'm going to be reading this, but I have to say this, but this will be huge, big time. But anyway, Diablo was raised in the Apostolic Church and remained in opposition throughout his life. Wow. In the 1970s, became one of the first woman lecturers at the American Classical in Paris. And when she was regular rota for scriptural readings. As recently as 2012, she was doing readings on major feast days, wow, including Christmas and Easter as a tax of love, she once said. In describing her preparation of her reads, she was once averse to have only to convey the deep meaning. You see, as it was started your own faith. But first, I always pray. I pray before I start prepare, as well as in fact. I will always say the prayer before shooting a scene. Wow. So it's not no different in a way. She prepared to use the Revised English Bible. For this prayer style. So she raised her son Benjamin in the Adventist church, and then her daughter Gleisel pronounce it, in the Roman Catholic Church, the favorite of each child's father. Wow. As a United States citizen, she became involved with the politics in the way of her exercising her civic responsibilities. She campaigned for Franklin D. Roosevelt's re-election in 1944. After the war, she joined the independent civil committees of the arts, sciences, and professions. National Community Policy eventually group that includes Betty Davis, Gregory Peck, Groucho Marx, and Humphrey Bogart. In his Hollywood chapter. In June 1946, she was asked to deliver speeches from the communities that reflect the community party line. The group later invented as a communist front organization. Disturbed as a seen the small group as communist members might dominate the community. She removed the pro-communist managers from her speeches, and she co-wrote them to reflect Harry S. Brokaman's anti-communist platform. She later recalled, I realized the Knuckles people was controlling the organization without a mandatory and members of the board of being aware of it. I knew that it had to be communist. Wow. She organized a flight to regain um, control of the colony. It was supposed some of its leadership, but reform efforts failed. Wow. Organizations of the colony triggered as a wave of consolidations for over 11 other Hollywood figures, including future President Reagan, which I talked about earlier in this video. In 1958, she was particularly called before the House On-American Activities Committee, recounting her experience with the independent citizens committee. Wow. Relationship with John Fonte. She and her sister, John Fonte, was the only siblings to have won Academy Awards in the lead acting category. According to biography, Charles Hagman, excuse me, I misspoke anyway. The sisters always have an uneasy relationship starting in early childhood. When Olivia has trouble accepting the idea of having a younger sister, when Joan returned to her mother's favorite Olivia would rip up the clothes that her sister is given to wear and hand-me-downs. Wow. Forcing Joan to stitch them up together again. The tension was made worse by fiance's flagrant child illness. Wow. Which leads to their mother's ugly poignant expression. Livy can, Joan can't. She was the first to become an actress. For several years, Fonte was overshadowed by her sister's accomplishments. When Mother Leroy offered Fonte a personal contract, her mother told her that Warner Brothers was Olivia's studio. Wow. And that was she could not use the family name deal with God. Oh, God help me. In 1942, she and Fontaine, excuse me, I misspoke, I won't pronounce his name, but whatever, were both nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She for Hold Back for the Dawn and Fontaine for Suspension. When Fontaine's name was announced as a winner, she reacted to the grocery saying, "We got it." According to biographer Charles Higman, excuse me, I misspoke, but anyway, Fontaine rejected her attempts to graduate her. Wow. Leaving the other attendant embarrassed. Wow. The relationship was strained further until in 1946 when Fontaine made negative comments to an interviewer about her new husband, Marcus Coleridge. Wow, this is not good. When she read her sister's remarks, she was deeply hurt and waited for an apology and never was deferred. That following year, after accepting her first Academy Award each of her own, she was approached backstage by Fontaine, who attended her hand and congratulated her. Wow. She turned away from her sister. Oh, God, please help me. The two did not speak for the next 5 years after this incident. She may be causing an engagement between Fontaine and her daughters. Wow. Who maintained a covert relationship with their aunt. Oh, man. Following her divorce with Goldridge, Devon resumed contact with her sister, commented her apartment in New York, and spent Christmas together in 1961. The final break between the sisters occurred in 1975 over the disagreements over the mother's cancer treatment. Oh, really? Dude, really, girl, stop it. She wanted to consult with doctors and to support ovarian surgery. Fontaine disagreed. Yeah, I felt worried for her. I don't think disagreement will count. Fontaine recalled claim her sister have not nominated her as her mother's death. while she was touring to the play. Wow. The overnight was in fact was sent a telegram, which took 2 weeks to reach her sister. The sibling feud and with Fontaine's death and on December 15th, 2013. The following day, the Valentine released a statement stating that she was shocked and sad by the news. Wow. She died of natural causes in her sleep in her home in Paris, France, on July 25th, 2020, at the age of 104. Now, Jean Fontaine is definitely shocking when she died when I graduated from high school. And this is devastated, you know. That's just me. You know, let's go ahead and read 2 more from her, and we'll go to the next 2 after this is over. Let's go ahead and do that. Career achievements and legacy. Her career spanned 53 years from 1945 to 1938 to 88. Excuse me, 58. Excuse me, 88. Whatever you pronounce it. But anyway, during that time, she appeared in 49 feature films. Was one leading movie stars during the golden age of classical Hollywood. She began her career playing diplomatic opposite male stars such as Harold Flynn, whom she made her breakout film Captain Flood in 1935. They would go on to make 8 more feature films together, become one of Hollywood's most successful on-screen romantic parodies. Her range of performance, including roles in most major movie genres. Following her feature film debut in Shakespeare adaptation of Midsummer Night Dreams, she achieved her initially popularity in romantic comedies, such as the great Gorick and Hard to Get. Wow, I did not know. And Western adventure films such as Dodge City and Sanity v. Trial. In her later career, she was most successful in drama films, such as In This Our Life and Live in the Plaza. Excuse me, oh yeah, I misspoke, but anyway. Okay. And possible dramas to play non-dramas characters in the film, such as The Dark Mirror, Snake Pit, and Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte. During her career, she won 2 Academy Awards to each his own to Harris, 2 Globe Awards, and Harris and Sasha in the Master of Anna, and 2 New York Film Critics Circle Awards, Nate Pitt and Harris, and the National Board Review Award, and the Venice Film Festival World Cup, the Snake Pit, and the Primetime Emmy Award nomination for the talent show The Mystery of Anna. Okay, very exciting. But anyway, for her composition to the motion picture industry, she received her star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 6762 Hollywood Boulevard on February 8th, 1960. Since her retirement in 1988, her lifetime contribution to the arts was been honored to culminate in 1998. She received an honorary doctorate to the University of Hertfordshire in England. Wow. In 2006, she was inducted to the Online Film and Television Association Award of Film Hall of Fame. The movie image collection of Olivia D. Hobbit is held in the Academy Film Archive, which preserves a National Wheel of the Screen test and Dustin's Max Reinhardt's never produced follow-up to Midsummer Night's Dream, 1945. She as a convinced and friend of Betty Davis, is featured in the series Feud, Betty and Jones, portrayed by Catherine Zeta-Jones. In the series, she reflects on the origin of deaths in the Davis graphical feud and how it affected contemporary female Hollywood stars. On June 30th, 2017, a day before her first birthday, she filed a lawsuit against FX Networks. God help me. And producer Ryan Murphy, for the initially portraying her and using her likeness, without permission. God, of all physics and invented the strike the suit striking this lawsuit against public relations. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Holly Cannon um, denied the motion in September 2017 and also granted the Hollidan's request to evidence the trial date. The motion requirements and set trial for November 2017. The National Appeal Judge Cundin's it was argued in March in 2018. A three justice panel of California Court of Appeal the second district ruled against the reformation suit brought by the organization that is by ruling the trial court erred in denying the defendant's motion to strike. It's the purpose of the option of the justice and encouraging that the affirming the rights of filmmakers and abolish the historic record that such partial was protected by the First Amendment. What was that? Okay, First Amendment. Okay. Dearborn's appealed that the decisions of the Supreme Court in September 2018 which declined to review the case. So that was her. I'm not gonna read the rest of this note thing here. Like, for example, the Honors and Awards. Those are good, but overall, excuse my fart. But anyway, I'm only gonna read these, but the rest of them are gonna be bad. The rest of them are filmography. I'm not gonna read the rest, so those are gonna be it for right now. So I'm just gonna read just the whole thing. Personal life and career and civil legacy. That was it. Yeah, I can't read the rest. So there you go. I think that's all for Olivia D. Almanen. It's already 4 o'clock right now. So let's go ahead and read Regis Philbin, and we'll do a last commercial break right now. This is going to be a small piece, okay? Now, about Regis Philbin, I'm going to read some of it, and then we'll do that. When we come back, we'll get to Regis Philbin, and then we'll do Peter Green. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Stay tuned. Welcome back to this portion of LukeJShip TV's the special tribute video for today, July 26, 2020. Now, before we begin this tribute video, I would like to apologize for the huge delay. I got 2 hours worth of going to run errands and everything, and I just don't know what to do now. If you're like me, I just want to do something real fast because I want to get to hurry things up and I want to do something real fast. So let's just go ahead, wrap things up with Regis Philbin and Peter Green right now. So we got, shall we? We'll start up with Regis Francis Xavier Philbin, okay? He was an American media personality, actor, and singer, not known for hosting talks and game shows. Having been called the hardest working man in show business, okay? Philbin holds the Guinness World Record for most of the hours on U.S. television. His trademarks include his exciting manner, his New York accent, his wit, his vehement ad-libs, okay? After graduating from the University of Notre Dame, he served in the U.S. Navy and got his television start from starting at the page from Tonight Show in the 1950s. The Philbin gained his first television network exposure in 1967 when Joey Bishop's sidekick, the Joey Bishop Show. Okay, that's good enough. Philbin was mostly widely known as having been the co-host in the New York City-based nationally wide syndication talk show Live Regis and Cabby Lee started in 1968. 1988, excuse me, which became Live with Regis and Kelly, starting in 2001. It continued with former football player Michael Shoran after Philman's departure in 2011. Philman debuted and hosted the U.S. version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, $1 Million Pyramid, and the first season of America's Got Talent. Okay, Philman was born on August 25th, 1931, in Manhattan. His father, Francis Frank Philbin, a U.S. Marine who served in the Pacific, was an Irish heritage, way to pronounce it. Okay. His mother, Farmia Florence, Bosnia, was from the Indian, Italian immigrant family Iberians, way to pronounce it. Iberians from Italy. Descended from Greasy Cabienda. Philbin had a Clavi upbringing. He was supposed to name Regis because his father wanted him to attend an opera manor. The precious Regis High School, it was long believed that Philbin was the only child. But on the February 1st, 2007 broadcast of Live Regis and Kelly, Phil announced that he would have a brother, Frank M. Philbin. Yeah, February 1st was days before I found out HBM. Franklin Philbin, March 1st, 1951 till January 27th, 2007, who have died from non-oxygenous rheumia, we pronounced it, several days earlier. Wow. Philbin has said his brother 20 years younger than he. Wow. He have not been mentioned on television in the order of the press. Wow. Philbin was raised in the Blind Nest neighborhood in the Bronx. He attended Array of Sawyer's Grammar School. Wow. And graduated from the Granville Hayes High School before attending the University of Notre Dame, for which he graduated in 1953 with a sociology degree. He later served in the U.S. Navy as a supply officer. Then he went to for a few behind-the-scenes jobs in television and radio before moving into the broadcasting area, we pronounce it. Okay? Early career. In his early career show business to work, Philbin was a page in Tonight Show in 1955. He worked for Los Angeles-based talk show host Tom Dodgen, when you pronounce it, and nervously fell in one night when the hard-drinking Dodgen didn't show up. He was also the announcer on The Tonight Show in 1962. In 1957, Regis left his job as assistant news editor to Boxer Ward at WKCOP in Los Angeles. Wow. To make his fortune in New York City. His playmate at KCOP was George Van Valkenburg. His boss talk show was Regis Philbin's Show in 1961 on KOGO TV, now known as, burped it, but anyway, now known as JTGTP, whatever they call it, but anyway, on San Diego. For future reasons, he had no writing staff, so he began each show with what has become his hallmark. The host called segment, influenced by Jack Parr, which he engaged his audience and later his co-host. In the divisions about his life and day's events, in 1964, Westinghouse Broadcasting to pick up Philbin's talk show for national syndication in the late night time slot, replacing Steve Allen. Wow. The show failed for the attractions of many stations, and Westinghouse replaced Philbin with Merv Griffin in 1965. Wow. Merv Griffin's my favorite ones of all time. Philbin gained his first television network exposure in 1967 as Joseph Joey Bishop sidekick on Joey Bishop's show on television, 1967 through 1969, in a Johnny Carson, Ed McCullen band. Bishop would playfully tease Philbin, and he would take it barbs in stride. But his feelings were hurt when he learned that the network grapevine it, the ABC executives were dissatisfied with his work and his tick essence. Wow. So during the opening of his 1968 program, he launched an unplanned story about not being wanted and letting down. The program immediately quit on the air. A few nights later, more by Bishop that all was well and the barbs was not personal. Philbin returned and was real in 1995 book, I'm Only One Man. It was actually a publicly stunt planned by Bishop and Philbin beforehand. He reserves this attorney in his 2011 book, How It Got This Way, explaining that this was intended to draw in some of Johnny Carson's viewers. When Johnny Bishop's show was cancelled, Bishop would return to the favor of walk off the show on air announced, leaving Philbin to carry the night on his own. Talk show career. In 1964, Philbin took over the show that replaced the Steve Allen show after Steve Allen left. The audience did not accept Philbin as a replacement for Allen, so Zanzi ethics, and the appearance lasted only a little over 4 months before the dismal ratings, especially as compared to Johnny Carson in the same time slot. Nevertheless, Philbin decided Carson as a fluid. From 1975 to 1981, he hosted AM Los Angeles, a local morning talk show on KABC TV. First with Sarah Parcel from 1975 to 1978. Then with Cindy Carsey from 1978 to 1981. Philbin's pressure to bought the show for the bottom of the legal ratings to number 1. During the early 1970s, Philbin also commented each weekend in St. Louis, which he filmed Regis Philbin Saturday Night in St. Louis on KMOX TV, now known as KMOB. In a 1978 book called The Great 60s Quiz, offered by Dan Karnowski, published by Harper & Crow, asked who was Regis Philbin, page 7. The answer was Joey Bishop's sidekick on the late night talk show. Okay? Page 124. Philbin's seamlessly travel national media pressure would soon be revised. In 1981, Philbin and Mary Hart co-hosted a national morning variety series for NBC. The show lasted for 18 weeks. After Garvey left Los Angeles in 1982 and moved to New York City, Philbin rejoined her on a morning show on WABC. At the time, the 9 a.m. time slot for WABC suffered the low national ratings because of the completion for WNBC's Downhole and WCBS game show blog featuring the Joker's Wall and Tic-Tac-Toe. After Garvey left again, and Ann Avery briefly shared co-hosting duties, Philbin was paired with Kathy Lee Johnson, later Gifford, in June 1985, and ratings improved significantly. The show became nationally syndicated in September 1988 and live with just Kathy Lee. And the success continued. The program replaced AM Los Angeles upon its cancellation in 1981, and will eventually pick up by all ABC open operated stations except the WLS in Chicago, which aired the Oprah Winfrey Show in that time slot, and had done this to the show's debut in AM to Chicago. In the 1980s, Philbin hosted Lifestyles with Regis Philbin, the Lifetime Television Network. Wow. When Griffith departed in 2000, the show would play named Live Regis. Filming his guest co-host until apartment play was found. Filming won the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Standing Talk Show Host in 2001. Kelly Ripa was chosen as the permanent co-host in 2001. The show was renamed Live Regis and Kelly. Their performance proved to be successful as the show continuously to enjoy high ratings. Wow. Filming this set Guinness World Records most honest hours of camera on its August 2020 2004 live show, replacing Hughes Dowd. Wow. Was given a total of 15 hours, 188 hours on television. Wow. On the September 14th, 2006 episode of Live, he's recording up to 15 hours, 862 hours. Wow. Okay. In 2008, filming contract with ABC's renewed from 2011. Wow. Under this contract, filming reportedly he earned more than US $21 million US dollars per annum. He received a federal contract with CBS for hosting $1 million peer password. Excuse me. It was announced on the September 17, 2009 episode of Live Regis and Kelly during the World Record Week that filming's Guinness World Record Guinness Book World Record for the most time spent in front of TV cameras have received 16,363 hours. Wow. Filming departed from Live Regis and Kelly after hosting his final show on November 18, 2011. Wow. Okay. Filming was also a game show host. He hosted The Neighbors, a short-lived game show on ABC from late 1975 to early 1976. It was a show had two female contestants, guessing which are her three woman neighbors said gossipy things about her. In 1976, he was field reporter for ABC's Almost Everything Goes. As Americans' adoption of British game show, it's a knockout. Wow. Film was original host from the U.S. version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, an ABC game show that has roots in Britain. Millionaire was a great ratings success in its 1999 debut, when it intended to be a national special series. ABC aired Millionaire as a regular series with frequent episodes, but its viewership slowly declined. After Millionaire was cancelled, it retooled in 2002 as Skinny version as hosted by Maria Varia. And ABC brought back Millionaire in 2004 with filming to be titled Who Wants to Be a Super Millionaire, a rated series that aired one of the more limited basis. Filming have appeared in 11 episodes on a special edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, starring August 9th, 2009, 10th anniversary of the show. He was a celebrity contestant in this version. Millionaire, in a syndicated format using guest hosts for the selected weeks during the season, and filming hosted a week of episodes that aired in November 2009, concluded with his 2009 surgery. Wow. Filming's Millionaire host duties won him a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Game Show Host in 2001. In 2010 Time article, he was listed among the 15 best game show hosts in history. When Millionaire was honored on the GSN's Game Show Hall of Fame special, Spillman's tenure as a show host was praised. Wow. Lee Hapton, the executive producer of the syndicated version, said he knew that was taking the reign of it and wanted to sit back and let the contestant wouldn't be a contestant. And Jennifer Sager of Two Girls and TV.com called him the sweetest man on television. Wow. For himself, can recall on his own Millionaire tenure and said in a special with the following statement: "You can only have a minute or two with it before the question began. I did everything I could to make it more available than the right answer," Regis Philbin said. But anyway, let's just close this up. But anyway, In November 2005, ABC announced that Philman would be hosting the network's revival for This Is Your Life. In August 2006, he reported that his option was a contract with the show had lapsed, so he declined to renew it. Wow. Philman was hosted the first season of America's Game Show, America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell produced amateur game show talent show on ABC during the summer of 2006. He flew between New York City and Los Angeles during the time period to participate in both Live Ridges and Kelly and AGT. Because of his difficulty with coming across the country and his health problems, he was replaced in 2007 by the talk show host Jerry Springer. With regard to filming spot, Springer noted that no one fills in with Regis. Agreed, big time. He was the best there ever, as well was it as you, so you can pay homage to him. Yeah, I agree. Filming's a formation with Fermento started development at the time. He hosted a revival with the Password franchise, including $1 Million Password, which premiered on June 1st, 2008, and ended on June 14th, 2009. Other television appearances. On December 31st, 2004, Philman filled in for the Dick Clark on ABC's Dick Clark's New York's Rockin' Eve as Clark was recovering from a stroke. Wow. Philman was a year and a half younger than Clark. Wow. Hardly claimed to have interrupted his previously planned vacation to do the show. Wow. The following year, Philman was hosting a companion special for Fox, replacing Clark's new co-host and his successor, Ryan Seacrest. Wow. Philman was also the host of the Apprentice 2 finale on December 16, 2004. It was the official 30-minute red carpet revivals in the Academy Awards ceremony on February 24th, 2008. Celebrated first anniversary of LGBTQ. But anyway, Philman hosted the 47th Daytime Emmy Award on June 27th, which is the day before my 50th birthday, 2010. Guest appearances. Philman made regular guest appearances on the Late Show with Dave Letterman. He was often introduced by Letterman as Regis Lee Philman. Wow, I did not know that. Played his own former morning co-host, like Kathy Lee Guilford. He also appeared on other late night talk shows, such as Jimmy Kimmel Live, Late Night with Ken O'Brien, Late Night Show with Craig Ferguson, and Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Philman appeared in the sitcom Spin City, How I Met Your Mother, Mad About You, Hope and Faith, Seinfeld, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as well as sketch comedy programs The Danny Carvey Show, Mad TV, and Larry Sanders Show. He appeared on the episode of The Big Valley and Cabbage, which first aired on March 8th, 1968, and in 1970, he appeared on the episode of ABC's crime drama, The Silent Force, okay? In 1991, Philman was a celebrity guest in WrestleMania 7, Los Angeles, coming the main event between Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. In 1998, Philman made an appearance on Disney's Hercules as the voice of Mayfield Monster 5 Volt. I love Hercules as a kid. Wow. Kathy Pogova was also present as a voice of Providence May Ultra. Wow, I was loving this show. On December 25th, Christmas Day 2000, Disney Philman appeared as a finalist in the first season championship game on the ESPN game show, 2 Minute Drill. Wow. On February 28th, 2004, I loved it as well. I loved the series. Philman guest starred in the episode of Lilo and Stitch series called Drowsy. Okay? On May 15th, 2006, Philman appeared as a special guest appearance alongside Howie Mandel for a 2-hour special episode of Deal or No Deal on NBC. Philman appeared 3 times in Celebrity Jeopardy, which will be aired on Monday, or whatever day it was. With the most appearances for any being celebrity is on the game show Jeopardy! On November 2006, he won his competition and earned $50,000 for commercial Hayes High School as Ultra Mayor. Wow. Filming appeared as a contestant at Celebrity Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader in November 2007. I haven't seen that before, but anyway. He again played as Ultra Mayor, Charles Hayes High School. He dropped out of the game and went up home to $775,000 for the school. Wow. Oh, I did not know that. But anyway, in September 2008, filming guest starred himself on How I Met Your Mother, where he joined the cast in the search of New York's best hamburger. Wow. The show revealed that he worked on the Barney's gym. Wow. During the Best Burger Hut, his picture hung in the Best Burger restaurant in every over suspected Best Burger restaurant, such as Corner Bistro and Veggie Heaven. In the show, he hosted a show within a show called $1 Million Heads and Tails. Wow. Which made reference to a $1 million password millionaire. Wow. On Christmas 2009, filming attended Christmas Mass with Father Edward L. Beck, and Tiffany Dolan, the current Archbishop of New York, at the Sunday Mass, and gave a special interview discussing how being a convict has been influenced his life. Wow. In February 2011, film made appearance on the Take Two, which is Stupid Idea with Phineas and Ferb. So stupid, lame show. On July 1st, 2011, he was a celebrity guest on Marriage Reef, alongside with Tracy Morgan and Susie Edmond. After Live. On May 29th, 2012, filming appeared on CNN's Piers Morgan Tonight, which is stupid, during the show's guest host week. Wow. Which is cool enough. I love Regis and Piers Morgan Tonight. Not Piers Morgan, so lame. Filming what guest was his longtime friend, fellow television host, David Letterman. Wow. From September 2012 to October 2017, filming was originally recurring monthly game show co-host, and Rachel Ray. Wow. In 2013, while Jon Stewart was absent in The Daily Show, filming a guest appearance with kissing guest host John L. Oliver on the head of the interview. Wow. That's something. Spot Sports announced on March 5th, 2013, that filming will be co-hosting Carl Goes Wild, a daily sports talk show featuring a panelist of hosts on their all-new national sports network, Spot Sports 1. Wow. Which launches on August 17th, 2013. He once again partnered with his producer for Millionaire, Michael Davis. Wow. In February 2014, filming announced that we would be leaving Fox Sports and only return to officially co-host Carl Goes Wild from March until his cancellation of the show on May 8th, 2014. He guest hosts 2 episodes of The Late Late Show in January 2015. Then on July 9th, 2015, filming appeared Today with Kathy Lee and Honda. It was announced that he was joining the program as the current co-regular guest host. Filming eventually appeared on the program probably once a month. Sometimes joined Guilford as a guest host and Holly Dove's days off. Written in musical notes, okay? Filming was also an author and singer. He's two autobiographies with co-author Bill Zogby, was called I'm the Only Man in 1985, and Who Wants to Be Me in 2000, are written in its original styles in his host charts, okay? The former books follows the year 1994 to 1985 in the life we call in his personal life, his memories of celebrities, and works of Regis and Kathy Lee live thing, among other things. The latter book was a response to the success of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and deals with the show in his life. In 2011, upon leaving live, filming and release a memoir titled How He Got This Way. As a singer, filming can be described as having been a crooner. in the style of having his favorite singers like Dean Martin, Perry Como, and Frank Sinatra. He tested the musical waters with his 1968 pop vocal release. His time for Regis, after receiving poor reviews, Philman was recalling it to record another studio album. But he actually sang in live. Usually endured with another singer. And after the first 6 years of absence, he recorded When You're Smiling in 2004, a more mature sounding pop standards album. A Regis Philbin Christmas album was released in September 2005. This also features several duets with close friend, the current president Donald Trump, stupid idea, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Steve Tyrell, and Marshmallow World, and his wife, Joy, Baby It's Cold Outside, Winter Wonderland. A special edition of this album was produced with tracks recorded with the Notre Dame Glee Club. Film was signed to Hollywood Records. Wow, it's cool enough. Personal life. Philman was married twice and had 4 children. He was married to Catherine B.K. Freeman, daughter of actor Frank Freeland from 1955 to 1968. They have a daughter, Amy, and a son, Daniel. He married interior decorator Joy Sins in 1970. They have 2 daughters, Joanna and Jennifer, known as JJ Joy Philbin, and obviously calls her with her husband Regis. Wow. On live, he often mentioned Joy and to a lesser degree Joanna, JJ, Amy, and Danny. At the time of his death, Philbin resided in Manhattan, near the ABC TV studios in Greenwich, Connecticut. Philbin was part of the professional sports world initially. He joined baseball as well as football. Wow. He's an avid fan of the New York Yankees. Wow. And a proud supporter of the sports teams in the alma mater, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Wow. Philbin narrated 2 other CDs that accomplished Joe Garner's books: Echoes of Notre Dame Football, The Great Moments in the Fighting Irish, and was unwilling to waver, and even the St. John's basketball coach Steve Lavin adds Regis to Trey's allegiance. Philbin played on the Notre Dame tennis team, put in his regent's statements in the ad where he claimed that he had learned tennis with second wife Joy in doubt. Notre Dame football coaches such as Charlie West, Tyrone Willingham, and Lou Hobbs have appeared in Rip Live. While being a Yankees fan, Regis is also keeping an eye for Florida Martins. On May 5th, 2009, he delivered the first pitch in the Marlins game. He also supported the Pittsburgh Pirates, in this last year's. In March 12, 1984, Philbin opened a Ford dealership in Gilbert, Arizona, and decided during his career in television. The dealership Philbin Ford service due to the already sober auto market in the area. It was closed in late 1988. Okay, it was known to having trouble handling new technology. It was especially very confused when he operated electronics such as remote controls and DVD players. Well, I can help you, but now he died like this. But anyway, he did not usually use computers. Yeah, my stepdad was reviewing at the time. Although he did use one for the episode of Live during summer 2008, demonstrating how to find homes online. Wow, and did not own a cell phone until September 10th, 2008. It was often noted, however, that Philbin was not completely reject the technology. Yeah, I agree. He simply had Joy make calls and send emails for him. Yeah. His help began when Philbin had a body in 1993. On March 14th, 2007, he underwent triple beta surgery at Cornell Medical Center because the product is arduous. Prior to his surgery, Philbin talked to David Letterman, what Philman had substituted on late night show with David Letterman during Letterman's own various basic surgery. Following Philman's successful heart surgery, he was returned to the show on April 26th. On December 1st, 2009, Philman had hip replacement surgery. He returned on January 4th, 2010 to his regular hosting duties. In May 2010, Philman underwent surgery to have a blood clot removed to his calf. He returned to work the next day. He died on July 24th, 2020 from the cardiovascular disease. He was 88 years old at a hospital in Quaker, Connecticut. Now, I'm going to read just the popular culture and the awards and honors, and that'll be it for right now. And there they are. Paul Philman was cast as a carman salesman, Osmond House, and Kelly's Ripper sitcom, Help and Faith. He was chosen to the voice in Myra's female character in Shrek the Third. Wow. Mabel was the sister of the ugly stepsister played by Larry King. Wow. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? During the successful run of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Philman revitalized the monochromatic book in men's formal wear they have bright colors, okay? Rather than patterned in ties and dress shirts. He looked into the suits, shirts, and ties culminating in solid, very stays the same, okay? It's a dark and muted color of Van Halen's clothing line based on the book based on this look, called Regis was short-lived. Wow. When Philman hosted Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, he was to use the phrase, "Is that your final answer?" whenever he confirmed the contestant's answer. Adopted the original UK host, Chris Tarrant. Never heard of him, but I heard of him before. But anyway, this became Philman's catchphrase during his tenure with the show. In August 2009, Philman returned to a 2-week stint as his host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The 11 shows, Sunday through Thursday twice, and plus one extra on Sunday, started airing on August 9th on ABC primetime. Filming along with Steve Harvey and John Henson, the late John Henson, that is. Not sure if it's he or it's John Morris Henson, not John Henson. But anyway, never mind. Was named the 2009-2010 guest host on The Daily Millionaire. Filming's episodes was on November 30th to December 4th, 2009. Revealing new rules about the show. 2007 newest Marcus Christmas book. In October 2007, Philman was featured in the 100th anniversary issue of the Nervous Christmas book. He was the host of the Classical Superstar Fantasy Concert, okay, which included piano virus, Lala Absolute, Russia's orchestra, led by conductor Valery Chorus. The Super Concert was for 500 guests and was offered for sale for $1.6 million. Now, one more and I'll be done. Awards and honors. In Morris Boggs, Cars Avenue was Sarge Street and Bogsdale Avenue was the current name Regis Philman Avenue. Wow. Now, these are the only awards I'm going to talk about, and I'll move on with Peter Green, something like that. But anyway, in May 2001, we won the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Game Show Host Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. May 2001, same way we just tied with Rosie O'Donnell at Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Talk Show Host. February 2001, winner of TV Guide Award Personality of the Year. New Year's Day 2002, Grand Marshal of the Tormented Rose Parade. February 2003, he was won the Water Cup Distinguished American Award. April 10th, 2003, received a star from Hollywood Walk of Fame. August 20th, 2004, sets Guinness World Record for most honors at cameras. 50,188 hours. Wow. July 2005, winner of PR.com, best celebrity nicknames. Wow. April 2006, inducted in the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Same with the induction in the Television Hall of Fame. Wow. September 2008, he had Guinness World Records updated to 16,100 hours. Wow. Okay, that was cool. June 2008, Lifetime Achievement Award for Best Lifetime Emmy Awards. 2009, Guinness World Records for 16,540.5 hours. Wow. 2010, Golden Mike's Broadcast Legend Award, Radio Television News Association with Southern California. That's fine. 2011, won the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Talk Show Host, live for Regis Kelly, tied with Dr. Oz. 2011, August 19th, achievement of the Disney Legends Award with its competitions in television. November 18th, 2011, filming received a key for the city of New York for the major Michael Bloomberg to honor his 28-year competition in New York media. And finally, May 9th, 2015, honorary Doctor of Army Legend Letters degree from Time University. Wow. That was easy. Now, let's end this with one last thing. Let's do this. With peer greed. I'm going to talk about peer greed. I'm just going to read all of this and wrap it all up with a huge bang. Let's just go ahead and do it. Peer Green, born Peter Allen Greenbaum, was an English blues rock singer, songwriter, and guitarist. As the founder of Fleetwood Mac, he was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998. Green songs such as Opera's Magic Woman, Oh Well, the Green Marlowe with a two-pronged crown, and Man of War appear on single charts, and several having been adopted by musicians. Wow. Green was a major figure in the second great adopters of the British blues movement. B.B. King commented, "He was the sweetest tone I ever heard. He was the only one that gave them the cold sweets." Wow. Eric Cartman plays his guitar playing. He was interested in expressing emotions in songs rather than showing off and how fast he can play. He was bringing vibro and mastery of style. Rolling Stone ranked Green as number 58 in this list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. And Stone's instrumental Supernatural was rated as one of the 50 greatest of all time as guitar player. In June 1996, Green was voted the third private best guitarist in the all-time in Mojo magazine. Now, let's read this now. He was born in Bynum Green, London on October 29, 1946, into a Jewish family. The youngest of Joe and Anne Borman's 4 children. His brother Michael taught the first guitar chords, and by the age of 11, Green was teaching himself. He began playing professionally by the age of 15, while working a number of East London shipping companies, okay? He first played bass guitar, okay? In a band called Bobby Dennis and the Dominoes, okay? Which performed pop chart covers and rock and roll standards. It could shell covers. It was later stated that Hank Marvin was his guitar hero, and he played the Shell song Midnight in the 1996 tribute album Twain. He went on to join a Reverend and Blues outfit. Oh god, not Reverend Blues, but anyway, Mastrack. Then a band called Triance, in which he played bass. By Christmas 1965, Green was playing lead guitar and Peter Barton's band, the Peter B's Lunars, where he's met drummer Mick Fitwell. It was there that Peter B's Lunars they made his first recordings debut with the single "If You Want to Be Happy" with Joyful Blues as a B-side. His recording "If You Want to Be Happy" was an instrumental cover of the song by Jimmy Soul. Okay, moving on. Johnny Mayall's Blues Breaker is on, which is moving on to the next one. Okay. In October '65, before joining Barton's group, Green was eventually to fill in for Eric Clapton's in the John Mayall's and the Blues Breakers for 4 gigs. Soon afterwards, when Clapton left the Blues Breakers, Green became a full-time member of the Mayall's band for July 1966. I'm not gonna read the. Yeah, I can read that one. Mike Byrne, a producer of Digger Records, recalls Green's debut of the Blues Breakers. Okay. Said thus, as the band walked in the studio, I noticed it as an amplifier, which I never saw before. So I said to John Mayall, "Where's Eric Coleman?" Okay, Mayall's answered, he was not with us anymore. He left us a few weeks ago. I was in shock state. Yeah, whatever they pronounce it. But Mayall said, "Don't worry, we got someone better." I said, "Wait a minute, hang on a second. This is ridiculous. You got someone better there than Eric Chapman." John said, "He might not be better now, but will you wait in a couple of years? You gotta be the best." Then he introduced me to Peter Green. Wow, that's easy. Green made his recording debut in the Blues Breakers in 1966 on the album Hard Road in 1967. Which features 2 of their own compositions, The Same Way and The Supernatural. The later one was one of the Green's first instrumentals, wow, which was soon become a trademark. The professional, he was a musician friend, bestowed him upon the nickname the Green God. In 1967, the Green decided to form his own blues band and left the Blues Breakers. Fleetwood Mac, Green's new band, with former Breaksburg Mick Freewood on drums and Jerry Spencer on guitar, was eventually called Piers Green's Fleetwood Mac featuring Jimmy Spencer. Bob Burney was temporarily employed on bass guitar. Jim's bass choice was Blues Breakers bassist John McBay was not yet ready to join the band. Within a month, they played the Windsor National Jazz and Blues Festival. In August 1967, it was quickly signed to Mike Vernon's Blues Horizon label. They are primarily credited mainly of blues and covers originals. Wow, that was cool enough. Let me just scroll up down. Okay. Mostly written by Green, and was sometimes were written by slide guitarist Jimmy Spencer. The band's first single, Spencer's "I Believe My Time Ain't Long," with Green's "Rabbit Pony" as a B-side, which did not chart with their Eminence debut album, made an excitement impression. Remained in the British charts for over a year. By September 1967, John McKay had replaced Bernie. Wow. Although classics, blue covers and blue side originals remains promising in the band's repertoire during the period, Green rapidly blossomed, and the songwriter contributed many successful eventual compositions from 1968 onwards. The song chosen for the single release showed Green's style gradually moving away from the group's blues roots into the musical territory. Wow. Their second studio album, Mr. Wonderful, was released in 1968 and continued the format for the first album. In the same year, they scored a hit with Green's Black Magic Woman, later covered by Sinatra, we'll pronounce it, followed by Guitar Ismail album Albatross in 1969, which reached number 1 in the British single charts, which hit more hits but written by Green including Oh Well, Man of the World, both in 1969, and the Mamas Degree Mashmore Lishi in 1970. The double album, Bruce Jam in Chicago in 1969, was recorded in the Chess Records, the Terramore Studio in Chicago. They're all about under the joint of Vernon and Marshall Chess. They record with some American blue heroes, including Otis Spann, Blue Big Water Horton, Willie Dixon and J.T. Brown, and Buddy Guy. In 1969, after signing to Mandate Records for one single one in the world, before that label's collapse, the group signed it with Warner Brothers Records, Requires Records, label and recorded their first studio album, then Play On. Primarily featured the group's first new first guitarist, 18-year-old Danny Kirwan. Green was the first seen Kirwan in 1967, playing with his Blue Trail House with Trevor Stevens on bass and Dave Curry on drums. Green was impressed with Kirwan's playing, used the band as a support for Cleveland's Mac before returning Kirwan's with his own band in 1968. A suggestion of McFreewood, Spencer, however, made Curry, no coercion to play on. Owing to the reported refusal to play on any of Green's original material. Began with Man of the World, preparably lyrics. Green's bandmates began with the notice changes in the state of his mind. He was taking large doses of LSD, grow the beard, wow, I did not know that, and began to wear robes in a college, what do you pronounce it? McFreewood recalls Green concerned about external wealth. I have conversation with Pierre Green around that time, and he was best about us not making money, wanted to give it all away. I said, well, you can do it. I don't want to do it. That doesn't make me a bad person. While touring Europe in late March 1970, Green took LSD at the party at the convents in Munich. Okay. An incident cited by Fleetwood Mac manager Clifford Davis as a surgical point in this medical decline. Kamard Rainer Wagons mentions in his autobiography that he and his usher, Margaret met Green in Munich. They invited him to the High Flinch commands. Fleetwood Mac roadie Dinky Dawson, yeah, whatever you pronounce it. But anyway, remembers that Green went to the party with another roadie. Wow. Dennis Kenny. That when Kenny returned to the band's hotel to explain that Green would not leave the committee, Kenny with Dawson and Fleetwood traveled to fetch him. By contrast, Green stated that he would have found memories of jamming in the communists when speaking in 2009. I have a good play there. It was great. Sometime recorded, they all came to me to tape. There were people playing along. A few of us just spooling around and it was great. He told Germany for the time that it was the most spiritual music I ever recorded in my life. At the final performance on May 20th, 1970, Green left Fleetwood's Mac. Okay? Wow. This is so bad, you know. After Fleetwood Mac, on June 27, 1970, Green appeared on the Bath Festival and the Blues Festival Music with John Babel, on male organ, Grass on bass, and Ashley Dunmore and drums. In the same year, he recorded a jam session with drummer Queen, keyboardist Zoot Money, and Nick Block, and bassist Alex we pronounce his last name. But anyway, of the Ashley Dunmore retaliation, Respire Records released the session at the end of the game. The Pierce first post Fleetwood Mac. So also soon after leaving Fleetwood Mac, Green published former bandmate keyboardist Peter Barnes, PB's Lunars, on Barnes' solo LP and The Answer. Wow, playing lead guitar on several tracks. In 1971, he had a brief reunion with Fleetwood Mac, helping them to complete the U.S. tour after guitarist Jerry Spencer had left the group. Wow. Performing under the panache on Peter Blue, he recorded 2 tracks in the album Juju with Bobby Tench's band Gas, which followed a solo single, one with Nigel Watson, and sessions with B.B. King in London in 1972, and an uncredited appearance on Fleetwood Mac's Penguin LP in 1973 on the song Night Watch. And this time, Green's mental illness as drug use had become intellectual and inspired into a professional industry. Okay, that's just sad. Illness and first emerging age. Now, I'm going to talk about this, but this is going to be a little bit sad. But right now, this is bad. Green was eventually diagnosed with somatoria and spent time in the Barnard hospitals and ongoing emotional therapy during the mid-1970s. Many sources attest in this Slavic like state during the period in 1977. Green was arrested for threatening his accountant David Simmons with a shotgun. Wow. The exact coordinates on the subject much speculation. The most famous being that Green wanted Simmons to stop send money to him. Wow. In the 2011 BBC documentary Peter Green, Man of the World, Green stated that at the time that he would just returned from Canada, needed money and that. During the telephone conversation with his accounts manager, he alluded to the fact that he had bought back in the gun that from his travels. That's just wrong, man. His accounts manager probably called the police, who surrounded Green's house. Strangely enough. 1979, Green began to emerge professionally with the help of his brother Michael. He had signed Peter Burns McCall's PBK label and produced a string of solo albums starting with 1979's In the Skies. He had made an uncredited appearance on Fleetwood Mac's double album Tusk on the song Brown Eyes, released the same year. In 1981, Green contributed to Rattlesnake Shake and Pop Super Brains and make Fleetwood's solo album, The Visitor. He recorded several sessions with a number of other musicians, namely the Cat Mogu album, Case in the Blues, with Ray Dorset and Mongo Jury and Vincent Crane, Crazy World of Arthur Brown, and Lance Sortes of the Nashville Teens. However, despite attempts by Gibson Guitar Corporation to start talks about producing a Peter Green signature Les Paul guitar, Green's instrument of choice at this time was the Gibson Howard Roberts fusion guitar. In 1986, Peter and his brother Mickey contributed to the album and touched the Sunburn by Laurie the Raven Gaines under the group name The Amity Whiffen. Okay, this is strange. This album has been reissued many times, and such as post-modern blues and Peter Green make green. 2 greens makes a blue. Okay, blues. Okay. Album credit Pirates guitarist Mick Green. In 1988, Green was quoted as saying, "I'm present, recovering the treatment, but taking drugs." It was drugs that influenced me a lot. Oh God, help me. I take more than I intended to. I took LSD 8 or 9 times. The effort that subs lasts so long. I was I wanted to give away all my money. I went kind of holy. No, not holy. Religious. But I thought I can do it. I thought I was on the right on drugs. My failing. In the early 2000s, there was rumors of the reunion of the early lineup of Fleetwood Mac, involving Peter Green and Jeremy Spencer, the two guitarists and vocalists, were apparently unconverted of the merits of such a project. But in April 2006, during the question and answer session of the Penguin Fleetwood Mac fan website, bassist John McGray said in the reunion idea it would get Peter and Jeremy to do it. I'll probably maybe do it. I know Mick can do it as a Flash. Unfortunately, I don't think there's much chance of Danny doing it. Bless his heart. On February 25th, 2020, an all-star tribute concert was performed at the London Paradigm building at Mick Fleetwood and Friends tribute to Peter Green. The guitar review said Green himself was not in attendance and possibly unaware of this event. Okay, Peter Green Spencer Group, which Green formed the Peter Green Spencer Group in the late 1990s, and there was census with what Nigel Watson and closely followed. The Spencer Group released 9 albums between 1997 and 2004. Early 2004, a tour was canceled and recording with a new studio album stopped when Green left the band and moved to Sweden. Okay, shortly after he signed the tour with British Blues All-Star scheduled the following year. In February 2009, Greens began playing and touring again, this time as Peter Green and Friends. In May 2009, he was the subject of the BBC 4 documentary Peter Green, Man of the World, produced by Harry Holiday. Okay? Now, playing style and songwriting. Green was interested in expressing emotion in the songs, rather than just showing off how he can play. He had been praised in the Swifting several groups and soulful phrases in his favorite manners, mode, and darker blues and affiliations. His distant tones can be heard and supernatural. An instrumental written by Green for John Mayo and his Broken Breakers 1967 album, A Hard Road. The song destroys Green's control of harmonic feedback. The song is criticized by a shivering Rimmo, Queen cutting the tones, and a series of 10-second serenade notes. These tones were evident by Green controlling feedback in the Les Paul guitar. Equipment. Earned his career, Green played a harmony major and an experienced hollow body guitar. He began playing a Gibson Les Paul guitar with a pair of Bs. Okay? Guitar which was often referred to as his magic guitar. There is offer guitars. This is best known to deliver a unique from tone from 1959 Les Paul. Green later sold it to the Northern Irish guitarist Gary Moore, who is from Vin Lizzy for all the money Moore can get for selling this Gibson SS guitar. Green had bought the guitar after his first spell from Mayo before he joined the pair of Bs for £414 from Summers and Kwame Cross Road. In 2016, Kirk Hammett of Metallica bought the guitar and reported $2 million. Wow. Hammett was saying that he actually paid quite a bit less than $1 million for it. Wow. For being in the right place when the guy was selling and needed some cash. In the 1990s, Green played the 1960s Fender Stratocaster and the Gibson Howard Roberts Fusion model, using Fender's Boost DeVille and Vox AC Verdes amplifiers. Towards the very end of his playing days, the Gibson S165 saw more use. Okay? Now for affluence. and this is where I'll start. Many rock guitarists have cited Green as influence, including Gary Moore, Joe Perry of Aerosmith, and Paul Wishbone Ash. More recently, Noel Gilmore and Radiohead bassist Colin Greenwood. Greenwood's Black Crowes, which Robinson's pick up a guitar world Furry on Furry. Greatest guitarist pick up by the greatest guitarist 2010. In the same article, Robinson's great cites Jimmy Page, who owns the Crowes tour. He had told us Peter Green stories of the career of Jimmy Ives, the man's talent. Green songs have been recorded by artists such as Santana, Aerosmith, Status Quo, Black Crowes, Maggie Earl, Tom Petty, Judas Priest, and Gary Moore, who recorded Bruce with Journey, an album of Green's compositions, Personal Life. During periods of mental illness and nursing throughout the 70s and 80s, Green moved with his older brother Len and Len's wife Gloria and his mother in their house in Great Yarmouth. With the process of recovery began, he lived a period on the Sorry Island, Essex. Green married Jane Samuels in January 1978. The couple divorced in 1979. They have a daughter, Rose Bond, in 1978, which is war. Green passed away on yesterday. He was 73 years old. Now here's some studio albums, and I'll end it right there. And then we'll move on to the next thing, called Cowboys from Hell. Here they are, some solo albums, and I'll wrap it up, The End of the Game, 1970, Hit in the Skies in 1979, Little Dreamer in 1980, What You Gonna Do in 1981, White Sky in 1982, Colors in 1983, and finally, A Case in the Blues with Kyle Mento in 1984. And those are tributes. And that'll wraps up with the tribute video for today, July 26, 2020. Hope you enjoy it. What a relief of what happens next. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be Cowboys from Hell 30. Until next time, Salute Jefferson, goodbye, peace out, baby. We got more videos, guys, very soon. Till then, Jefferson out. See ya.